Who are these niggas? I think they all overrated. I think they all are outdated. I'm independent, but they think that I'm sounding shady. Cause my jewelry look like I made it. Just got a house, I need a brand new Mercedes. We kicking nest like the baby. I'm on a climb, I leave with the plugs that I met one more time if these labels don't pay me.
Sorry, I don't have my headphones on.
I have no snare in my headphones.
Would you like some headphones?
I have no snare in my headphones.
I haven't heard. What's that from?
That's Cleaning Out My Closet by Eminem.
Oh.
In the intro, I have no snare in my headphones.
I'm not familiar with that Marshall Mathers track.
Really?
No. I was never a person though that went back and like listened to like his holy shit, what's the group called that he was a part of? Like
D12?
I never got into D12. I listened to like his like middle school, high school bangers. That was that.
I did not listen to the D12 shit at all either.
Yeah. Dude, look at this whiskey. Is this like overbearingly loud?
No.
I'm just gonna turn it down just a hair to start, and then I'll turn
Still
it off.
on the Benny the
eventually.
Butcher kick?
Dude, it's been like, it's actually interesting. There's something about how good the instrumentals that he picks and that a lot of the producers that he and similar artists work with, it's the instrumentals for me, and it's like great study and working music for me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But then like I can also listen to it at the gym. So I don't really know.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think
Yeah.
he's kind of like if Action Bronson trapped instead of cooked.
Yeah.
Like that's
Wow.
it's like the mix of the instrumental, but also the
That's interesting.
lyricism and.
Dude, I can't get over. I gotta get a hat.
Yeah, I know. I'll get one out to you.
I gotta get a hat. I don't know. I need one. That looks great.
I hate this shit is mirrored. Makes me.
Doesn't that feel weird?
Yeah.
Well, I can always switch it, or whoever does this. Did you notice I did it from the other side this week?
Yeah. Yeah. I like your backdrop.
I think it spaces it out a little better. I gotta keep working on my background here, but the Andre Johnson jersey that is randomly hanging down here needs to go. But
there.
I'm kind of fucking with it.
Yeah. I can't decide which one's worse now. Am I flipping for you?
No, you're not. So it must just be no. So how I'm seeing you. Wait, I'm so confused now. How I'm seeing you is like logo? I can read your logo. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just stay like that then.
How about me? Wait, can you read this?
Yeah, you're the correct way.
Correct way? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was playing with that earlier too. Dude, have you had as weird of a fucking week as I have?
My last 2 weeks have been fucking terrible.
Really? It's just like
it's not just weird. It's like God is trying
really
to break
shitty.
My will.
Oh.
Yeah. Why? What's up with you?
Work wise?
Yeah, man. It's big deck stuff and work and
you have so much going on.
You still just don't rebound from Vegas. That's not a quick rebound. Still feeling
Dude's on a 2-week Vegas hangover.
I am for real.
Well, I guess that is as good as an intro as any. I think we're probably. I kind of want to just scratch that little hour recording we did. We were gonna.
That could be like a Patreon episode.
There you go. Exactly. This was going to be a 2-part episode in which we recorded like 53 minutes of the first part last week, and we weren't in the proper state to put it PG-13. to be recording, and just we sounded like idiots. So
Did you watch any of it?
dude, I watched a little bit of it, and it's just not great. It's just
Yeah.
not. There are some great points, and then we just went on like the worst tangents ever. But that's the
Yeah.
way she goes. That's the way she goes. This is episode 3 of the Role Player Podcast. We are here on the kickoff of March Madness. Did you watch any today?
I had a little bit. Part of me like losing my mind today was trying to figure out. So, another tangent. I'm not even in the same state that I was last time we recorded, but I'm already going on a tangent.
Where were you? I'm so confused. You weren't in
at
North Dakota?
The mind state.
I'm a fucking idiot, dude.
But at work, I like finally pissed and moaned enough to get a MacBook. Mm-hmm. But we have 3 monitors that are not compatible naturally with a MacBook, so I have to use like a little dock or whatever.
Yep.
And those docks like legally apparently have to protect themselves from like DMCA stuff or copyright.
Oh man.
So I couldn't display. I was watching March Madness on my phone, is what I'm getting at, and it was a disaster. Like I have
That's
3
the
monitors.
worst, dude.
There's plenty of room for basketball. Couldn't do it.
That's hilarious, dude. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. That sucks.
That's fine.
I got to sit here all day with 2 work screens rolling and 1 TV screen rolling. What's going on, man? You all right?
Yeah.
Is someone
Yeah.
intruding in your house?
No, I'm yelling at my dog.
Oh,
Can you hear him at all?
no.
Okay, he's absolutely chewing on something back there.
I've got
I don't know, man.
I've got a little external monitor set up right over here to this side where I'm trying to look at the camera, and then I dragged your screen over here. We're getting better, you know. We're just really
Yeah.
improving the setup week in and week out.
It's crazy that Apple just made a computer that has a better camera than like if I went and bought $500 camera to stream through.
It's pretty that's the thing with Apple. It's like, for all of the misgivings that people have about like repair and getting parts replaced, and then like the supercomputer nerds that talk about like how everything is burned onto the hard drive, so you can't customize your computers very much in the operating system or whatever they call that. I don't know, the motherboard and stuff like that. For everything like that, there are so many better things about Apple that we talked about in this part 1 episode that will never be aired. But
dude, none of that really concerns me. It's literally all about user experience for me. Like I'm such a normie
Exactly.
with what I'm doing. I don't need anything exceptional. And when I had a PC at work, ran into storage issues. So I got an external hard drive.
yep.
Was moving stuff onto the external hard drive, and it crashed my computer so bad it didn't turn on for like 2 hours. And I'm just
Wow.
like, dude, I can't even work with this.
Oh
And now
man.
Apple is all connected to the cloud. You can go to an external hard. Everything is just so much cleaner and simple.
It's so simple. It's so simple and clean, especially when everyone's got iPhones and iPads and
right.
whatever. So, another Apple tangent from the Role Player Podcast. We
Sponsor
do those
us, Apple.
often. Yeah, seriously, could you imagine? Speaking of, we were talking about March Madness. Let me ask you this: in your household, did you have sports that like your dad was like, "Nah, we don't watch that. It's like it's like, you know, it's like softer, or like it's, you know, it's just like a sport that your father had disdain for?" Or whoever watched TV with you the most, or did your sports viewing the most?
Yeah, I guess I just didn't grow up watching a lot of basketball or hockey.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
it was framed through the mindset of like my dad being like a meathead football player his entire life.
Right. Right. Yeah,
But it wasn't like we don't watch that, you know.
Sure. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing for me. I run into it now where it's like I really enjoy watching basketball, but it was just never on. It was never on in our house, and it was one of those things where it's like, well, in my house it was, you got to play hockey. That's a physical sport. That's, what I grew up playing, and basketball wasn't kind of the thing that ran in the lifeblood of the Brown family.
Sure.
Much as soccer was, if you can kind of get my drift here,
Yeah,
where I'm going.
That's a better example.
Yeah. So it's just, I've had a weird relationship with basketball. I've always really enjoyed basketball, and I really love the end of the college basketball season every year. And I say the end of because a little before March Madness starts is like when it starts to get really good and really fun. Mm-hmm. But I never watched. I probably never sat down and watched a full college basketball game other than maybe March Madness until late in high school.
Sure.
So, I don't know if you do the same way.
My dad was still big on like Bison hoops for some reason. He was very passionate about Bison basketball.
That's cool. That's cool to have in your hometown, a D1 school in your hometown that's, a good mid-major program.
Well, that too, like, one of the better teams in school history was in I think it was 2009, 2010 with like Ben Woodside, all those guys when they went to the tourney.
Was there like a Braun or a...
That was later.
That was later? Okay.
Taylor
Braun,
got it.
Yep.
Still playing hoops professionally. So he's...
That's right. Is he in Poland or something?
I think he just got... I don't know what league it is, but he plays for like the Windy City Bulls.
Oh, okay.
So
got it. It's an American.
Yeah.
Got you.
But he was overseas for a while.
I saw a tweet today, too. It was the first 4 victory anniversary from 2019. Mm-hmm. When Tyson and Vinny and Rocky Cruiser and
that
those
team was
boys,
fun, dude.
Those boys are going crazy. They
Sam
were fun.
Griesel.
Sam. That was like freshman or sophomore year, Sam. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was fun, dude. They gave Duke a little run for a half of basketball.
Yeah,
that was fun.
And Zion just turned it on.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? That's fun. March Madness is fun. Did you fill out any brackets?
I did one, and I was busted on the first game.
Wow. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I had Louisville going a round or 2 actually. No, I didn't have them going to the Sweet 16, but I did have them going to the 30,
dude,
32.
Creighton might be a problem.
They're a problem.
If they can hit shots, like
dude,
they did today.
I'm telling you, man, there was a lot of talk in like I said, I am a pretty, I enjoy college basketball and I know a decent amount of stuff, but I am not like thorough in my college basketball knowledge. But what I will say is that watching the Big East the last few years, they beat each other up, and they beat each other up, but they also like prepare each other for the tournament. Like the Big East has got some dogs on the top end, and then I mean, all of a sudden now it's like you'll have like, I know 2 years ago it was like there was 8 teams that were all in the running to make the tourney. I don't know if I think maybe 5 or 6 probably did. I mean, this year it was like. It's really fun to watch. I don't know. I only watched the ones Marquette played in this year in terms of games, but obviously then you get to watch St. John's, you get to watch Creighton, and those guys are, man, there's some dogs in that Big East.
That's a fun basketball conference because like Big 12, Big 10, SEC, you kind of have a hard time, for some reason for me, like you have a hard time separating good football and basketball schools.
For sure,
but a lot of the Big East schools don't have football. So it's just like, man, St. John's, they're playing in the Garden. That's a
so
sick basketball school.
Dude, it's like St. John's versus Providence, and they're selling out Madison Square Garden. Like, that is so dope.
Or like
I really enjoy it.
I think Georgetown took, I think his name's Ed Cooley.
Yep.
Was the head coach at Providence. And that was a whole beef that they hate each other now. And then they have
UConn.
I
didn't know that.
Dan Hurley is like shit talking Creighton fans on the way out. It's the best,
bruh. He's a menace.
He's a wild man.
Dan Hurley is a menace. He's an unbelievable coach, but he is a crazy man. Yeah. I don't know if I would like to play for him. I like playing for a lot of hard-nosed, like traditional people, but he's like a weird different level that I don't know if I could do well with.
This is a hard thing to describe because like I don't think at NDSU we played with a lot of like, not what people would consider players coaches. Everything is about the program and the advancement of the program.
For sure.
But also, Dan Hurley is in that different echelon of like, he will just go until he breaks you, and if you don't adapt, then you're just dead to him.
You're done.
Where like you kind of found your pecking order at NDSU. Like if you either broke, got to that point, and you got better and became your best player, your best version of yourself, or you just kind of fell behind. But
Fell by the wayside.
Dan Hurley is like, I'm treating everybody this way.
Yeah, and then the difference with that is, what do they have? 14 guys in the program, including
Right.
walk-ons. Like I don't know what it is exactly, but yeah, that college basketball is a different beast, man. It's so different in so many different ways. But
The most insane tournament in the world when you think about it,
March Madness, obviously,
Yeah.
you're talking about.
to
Yeah,
win the whole thing.
yeah, it's incredible. It's the best thing ever.
Because it's 5 wins to win the whole thing. And it's done with the first 3 or 4 are done within 2 weeks of each other, if not less than that, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's a 3-week tournament, like considering the breaks for the Final Four and the championship.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what it is because it goes, round of 32 this weekend. Then next weekend is Sweet 16 to Elite 8, and then it goes Final Four championship. Yeah, so
Yeah.
just over 3 weeks. Yeah, it's incredible, man. There's nothing like it, huh?
Yeah. Real grinders.
Do you have any big bracket busters that you picked?
I'd have to go. I just did one quick this morning,
A lot
like
of
30
people-
minutes before.
A lot of people are on like Drake. A lot of people are on, what's the other one? I know some people did have McNeese
They
beating,
just spanked.
spanked Clemson. Well, no, Clemson came back and made it
Oh,
a
did
game. Yeah, at the end,
Okay.
they actually only won by 2, but
Wow.
it wasn't really like an attainable get. Like they were always up by at minimum 5 in the last 10 minutes. But
Sure.
anyway, I had who was I can't remember who. There was one team I had that lost today that I had going a decent ways. They were like a 13 or a 14 seed. I can't remember. Anyway, VCU, that's who it was. I had
Oh,
VCU
sure.
winning
Yeah.
a couple games. Maybe they were an 11 seed. I can't remember. Anyway,
I'm going through my bracket now.
yeah. March Madness season, man. There's nothing better. There's just no better. Yeah, there is. Let me not get over dramatic. There are few better times of year than when that winter air is breaking, and it's March, and the pavement's still a little bit wet, but there's no snow left on the ground. It's warming up. You're getting the golf clubs out. And March Madness comes on TV. You take it easy on Thursday, Friday of that week of work, and you got the games on in the corner in the afternoon. The sun's out. Might not be hot yet, but today around here it was 50 degrees. Just there's few better times a year than right now, and the feeling I get when the winter breaks.
Yeah, dude. And even like relating back to college, this if this day was tomorrow, it got up to like 56 here today. Everything's kind of melted. You finish spring ball practice, and you skip your 10 a.m. You take a nap till noon, and then hit your afternoon classes, and then the boys are like getting ready to darty.
Fire me up.
It's the best feeling in the world. There's
There
hoops
was-
on.
There was not many better feelings than that, man. You're dang right.
The spring ball, I think, man, they're both so terrible. I think spring ball is worse than fall camp.
No way.
Dude, but fall camp is just ball. You're going to school during spring ball.
That's fair, dude. I mean, that's fair.
And it's,
I just-
you get teased because they say 15 practices, and then you realize it's 3 practices a week. So it's 5 weeks of this bullshit.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a
And,
long
like,
time.
I don't
Like
really
we couldn't
remember.
have condensed this down one more week and
Dude.
made it 4 practices a week.
I would have killed for that.
Yeah.
I I don't remember like what your guys' positional depth was in spring ball, but somebody asked me this today, like what was it like? And I'm like, there was legitimately nothing worse.
Oh man!
Because if you were a dude, you just got to choose if you wanted to participate in spring ball or not, and that left a lot of guys out of the practice script. Yeah,
yeah. There was, man. I'm trying to think. Like my first year or two when I was still on field 2, that was deadly. I mean, there was. We were doing like 2 on 1 off sort of rotations at safety. So you're playing 8 plays in a row, sitting out. What is it, 2 then or 4? I don't know. It was play on 8 off 4, and you just be dying in that bubble, dude. I hated the bubble. I hated the bubble so much. We had a practice. For those who don't know, we had a practice facility that was different than the Fargo Dome. And the practice facility was just an inflated bubble, and they kept it way too hot, and it was freaking musty in there.
Yeah, that was the bigger problem. It was like you were breathing everybody else's air.
Dude.
There wasn't any new air going in.
I think I got tetanus just from breathing in Nash Jensen sweat too much, bro.
Shout at the boy.
Sorry, I just picked.
You could have caught worse from a lot of dudes on that team.
You're fair. Oh my God, spring ball, man. There was something about spring ball that I liked. I don't know what it was, but I was a film rat during spring ball.
Yeah,
a lot. I really enjoyed being around the facility, and like there was an interesting part about it where it wasn't like as physically grueling, so you could work harder on the mental part, I think. And I enjoyed that. I don't know exactly what it was, but there was something about spring ball.
It's the 3 practice factor.
Yeah.
And like I look fondly on spring ball now, but like I had deathly anxiety going into it. But once you're through it, you're like, the feeling you get when you're done for the day, your class is done at 2:30 and all you have is meetings for the rest of the day.
Ooh,
the best, dude.
That's a great feeling. I think
that's
feeling.
what it was. Were like the feelings in the breaks were like the breaks during fall camp. You're like, well, I just have to do this again tomorrow. This isn't a break.
Right. That's fair. It's just like, it's almost like you're living. You're like living like a separate life for that month in fall camp, where it's like you're so zoned into what's going on in front of you that there's no other. That's maybe why. Too, like obviously spring ball's a little bit longer, but like that's why it seems so drug on too, I'm sure, because you like you said, you got assignments going on, you're trying to get out on the Darty properties, you're trying to do all sorts of things. So what an interesting time of year.
Yeah, and it is also just like you're breaking the chains of seasonal depression at this time of the year. Like even not in college. Like now, it's light out until 7:30. It's nice out,
right?
And then one of the best sporting events in America is happening right now.
Top tier. I saw
the Masters is coming soon. Like it's all Speak your language.
Yeah, crossing my heart here. I think I'm going to the Masters. I think I get to go.
That's sweet.
We're working through some things, but I get to go there, and I'll get to go to the final round. I won't get to go to the first 3 rounds. I'll be doing some filming stuff, production stuff back at an Airbnb for most of that time, and editing a bunch of stuff we shoot that week. But if this comes to fruition, I'll be going on the final Sunday, which I am incredibly stoked for. I know I had an uncle wait on like a wait list for like 15 years to go to that thing. So
yeah, that's what's cool about the Masters too. Like obviously you're tied in with professional golfers, so it's different, but like there's no benefits to exclusivity there. Like they will turn down like Elon Musk could go be like, I want a membership, and they'll be like, no. Yeah,
exactly.
That's cool.
Or I'm sure you probably know this, but or if Elon Musk were to show up with an iPhone, they would not allow him to bring it in. Like he could not come in. You got to leave your phone. There's only a pay phone that you can use there. There's a couple on the property, or maybe one only. I don't know. And when you call people, you're like what everyone does is you call somebody from the payphone, and it shows up as caller ID of Augusta National, and everyone screenshots it. That's so cool. Yeah. But I'm crossing my fingers. I don't want to get my hopes up. There's a possibility it might not happen. So anyway,
you gotta go to
great time of year.
the John Daly Hooters if you're in Augusta.
No kidding.
I think it's like across the street from the club. There's a Hooters that like John Daly frequents.
No kidding. Isn't there something going on? Isn't Hooters like closing?
Oh yeah, I saw that. They filed for bankruptcy.
That's tough. That doesn't necessarily mean they're closing, does it?
No, somebody else could come and buy in and reopen it, just like Red Lobster. What's your what's your feeling on like the restaurant category?
I do not want to make any comments on this other than going to Twin Peaks in Frisco, Texas was some of the most fun bar experiences I've ever had. But that was that's the
company more than it is.
That's all I'm gonna say, Zach. I've been to a couple Hooters in my lifetimes. They have great Buffalo Wild Wings. They have.
You just said the name of another company.
Well, they're called. That's what they're called.
Wings.
Buffalo
they're not
Wings.
called Buffalo.
Oh my
Wild
God!
Wings.
What am I talking, bro? Am I on crack?
Jimmy Kapoor stopped over.
I might be on crack, dude. Good Lord. Like I said, it's been a long week, man. Good Lord. Buffalo Wild Wings. I can't believe I just said that. They have great buffalo wings. Yeah. They have mediocre fries, and they've got cold beer. I don't know what else they have there. So.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, because like, it's for the generation. Like our dad's generations love that shit.
Yeah.
And like
the old magazine generation.
Right. Yeah. The Maxims in the bathroom closet. But like if you just made a chain of dive bars that were just had everything about Hooters except for the name and the premise that these women walk around half naked.
Right.
Like just good wings, other shitty food, and cold beer, you would dominate the landscape.
For sure. So maybe they just got to do some rebranding, huh?
Yeah, because I don't know if you remember or not, but like there was a time with B-dubs, like probably late 2000s when they were kind of leaning into like we're gonna have like wink wink nod nod hot waitresses and like skimpy shorts.
Sure.
They got out of it and just went to regular stuff, you know?
I think I remember that period. Yep.
Yeah.
Are you still a B-dubs guy? Once in a while?
It's like such a guilty pleasure because like they're a sauce company more than they are a wing company.
Have they always been like that? But I've noticed recently more of that side of them. Have they always been like that? Okay.
I don't know because the price for wings is insane. Like you go there.
I know. I almost never order them.
Right. You might as well just hand them $50 when you walk in the door.
Yeah, because you go for a large basket of wings and 2 beers, and it is $43.
Right. 2 weeks of wages.
I haven't been to B-dubs, and I think I went once last year. I don't go much anymore. There's a couple wing spots here in the cities that I prefer, and that have deal nights and stuff like that. So I'll try to find some bar deals more than I do.
You're in like Fargo.
It's limited.
One or two spots that I consider like a good wing.
What's a good wing in Fargo? The OB Sports Zone used to have some banger wings. Do they still? Have you gone there?
I haven't been there in a minute.
Okay.
But yes, and they used to have insane deals too. Dude, it was like $5 for a bucket of chicken wings.
Those Wednesday night wing deals, they were $5 pound buckets of chicken wings.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah,
you'd get two pounds for $10, and then be able to take home any you couldn't finish. It was amazing. We would go there and watch. What the hell did they? I don't remember. What am I thinking of? We used to like go watch something on Wednesday nights or whatever wing nights they had there. I feel like it was Thursday because now that I'm thinking about it, I remember watching Bears versus Packers Thursday night kickoff game, like of the NFL season there. So that's what it must have been Thursdays. Anyway, another tangent.
I think Wednesday was boneless and Thursday was traditional.
That's right. See, that's why I keep you around, Zach. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else, man? Any we got into a little bit of the free agency talk in our part 1, but we might have to revisit. Is there anything more recent that we might not have talked about since then? The Packers signed Mecole Hardman. I think we found our guy. I think we found our wide receiver 1, dude. This is exactly what I've been waiting for since the beginning of the Jordan Love era. So, really pumped.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing, the Packers like outright refusal to sign a free agent like stud wide receiver.
Like just sign a big name. I mean, we haven't gotten a big name guy in free agency other than, I mean, on the offensive side of the ball specifically. We've had a few defensive signings that were great, but
yeah,
on the offensive side of the ball, we haven't had a guy. See, now I'm lying because we had Josh Jacobs last year. But then again, we gave up the exact same caliber of running back, in my opinion. So I don't know. It's just a little frustrating. I absolutely love being a Packers fan, but yeah, you'd like to see
a sick Green Bay Packer.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, although technically he's unsigned still, but we're not going to sign him. So I don't know.
Yeah, he wants to be a Charger. That's why.
For sure. Speaking of Chargers, did they do anything else since we last talked? I mean, recap the people. What you guys did.
The first 72 hours of free agency and the legal tampering period had me on a watch list for the things that I was saying in private and in public, but like just kind of like the Packers, like we need to surround our young quarterback with weapons and offensive linemen, and we were doing neither. We did end up getting Mekhi Becton, which I like, and we got
a big signing.
Mike Will back, which I'm happy about. Like,
sure,
just kind of the gang's back together. He probably won't do much, but
veteran presence hopefully can instill some wisdom on a couple guys, provide a little blanket for Herb.
And you know, if he's a 45 catches with 6 touchdowns and 600 yards, you're happy with that. Just kind of a deep threat that mixes in here and there.
For sure. Do you have a winner of free agency in your mind?
Man, we talked about this. I think I get fired up for teams that sign offensive linemen. And the NFC North just really bolstered theirs. I think the Vikings have to be the winners right now.
They're killing it. What's his name? Is it Kwesi?
Kwesi, yeah.
Kwesi? Sorry.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah, and then on the defensive side of the ball, they go and get John Allen and was it Javon Greenlaw? Or Kinlaw, Javon Kinlaw.
Kinlaw, yep. I knew you were just slightly off there. Yeah, I mean, they absolutely killed it, man. It's scary to be in their division going forward. I don't like it.
I was also wrong about Javon Kinlaw. Javon Hargrave?
Yeah, where did Kinlaw go? And it's not Javon. Is it Javon Kinlaw? Dude, do we
Kinlaw
not know
went to
ball?
the Commanders.
And that's so stupid because I was just about to say the Commanders were my winner of free agency.
And Javon Hargrave did go to the Vikings, so we're not.
That's it. We're just a little flustered, a little
we know
discombobulated.
ball, we're just stupid. That's the difference.
Dude, I feel like this free agency period and this offseason, this is the least I've known ball in an offseason in a while. I really need to step my stuff up. I've been so focused on golf. It's actually sad, but like I've been so into golf with what I'm doing for work. 2 of my main clients being both in the golf space. It's just like I'm in it so much. I'm constantly
Give me some
connected.
golf storylines. So what's going on? Because like Scotty is not as hot as he was last year.
Yeah, I mean,
it's also hard to follow up that season he had last year.
It's tough to say, man. I mean, Scotty, like, I mean, I think he's top 15 in the first 4 or 5 tournaments he's played this year,
Right.
which is like more than anyone would ever ask for a start to the season.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Scotty and a couple others. So, and he's played incredible golf. He's just like, the 8 to 15 footers that last year he would make. More often than not, they're just not quite falling yet. They're gonna fall, and he's gonna win probably, a good half dozen tournaments this year again. He might win 4 to 8. I don't know what it's gonna be, but he's still right up there. There was an incredible story this week at the Valspar Championship in Tampa. This is the final leg of the Florida swing, and a guy by the name of Andre Chi, I believe is his name. He played D3 golf, never played in a professional event. Now, I don't know how deep your knowledge is of professional golf, but I mean, there are usually if you end up playing in a PGA Tour event at any point in your career, that means you've played professional golf at some aspect of your career. Whether it was a shitty local, mini tour that pays out a couple $1,000s for the winner, or, in Europe, whatever it is. This guy, Andre Chi, played D3 golf, never played a single round of professional golf, works at a local course down in Florida, and is the local course professional there. So, local PGA professional. So he does, lessons. He runs a course essentially anyway, he goes to this Monday qualifier, which, a Monday qualifier is like PGA Tour events. They have these little local Monday qualifiers for one person to be able to get into a tournament at these local events. And some events will have more than one. Some will have like 6 different Monday qualifiers, whatever. I think this tournament only had a couple or maybe one. And this dude, Andre Chi, decided to join last minute, goes and wins the Monday qualifier, and gets into the Valspar tournament. Now, this is at Innisbrook Resort in Tampa, which is like one of the toughest golf courses on tour, probably a top 15 tough golf course. And unfortunately today, the first round of the tournament, he went out there and shot an 81. So it's a little tough, but just like a really cool story.
Minor
that he
setback
was
for a major comeback.
Exactly.
I'm rooting for the boy.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow he shoots a 64. Who knows? But
Yeah.
just a cool story. And the one cool thing about golf to this day is that these open championships, these open tournaments, these random qualifiers, you can have some of the coolest stories ever, like Michael Block a couple years ago. Just so many cool stories. But that was a cool one.
People sour on Michael Block because of his like Rory comments or whatever?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but your dog was just standing in the background, just staring at me for 30 seconds. Did the reputation of Michael Block sour in the public opinion? Was that your question?
Yeah, because like he was obviously like the darling that jumped out of nowhere, but then he was like, "Well, if I could hit it as far as Rory." Like
see, it's so funny. I'm glad you brought this up because I have an opinion on this. The interview that he did that bit and said that quote, I can't remember. Was it a Barstool? No, it was like a Golf Channel interview.
Sure.
It was taken so far out of context.
Sure.
It was taken so far out of context. If you watched the actual interview, you knew that he wasn't saying that. He was saying like, yo, if I had some of the power that Rory McIlroy, like he was essentially giving Rory a huge compliment.
Yeah.
And saying like, if I had his skills or if I had his power or whatever, like, of course I could compete with these guys on a day in to day out basis. What they didn't quote in a lot of those articles that soured his name a little bit was that he immediately followed that comment with saying, let me just make sure I get this right. He said, I have to play my A+ game for 4 rounds to even do what I did this weekend. If Rory plays his A+ game, even one or two of the rounds in the tournament, he wins the tournament.
Yeah.
He's like, I got 16th and I played my A+ game the whole time, like for 4 days straight. You know,
what he said is a reasonable statement, and I get what he means because anybody who's like, we in comparison of college football players, we were like a tier below the guys that did it at the highest level. But like, if I had Tanner Volson's athleticism, I could have made it to the NFL.
Exactly. It's
Right.
all a hindsight game, you know,
Yeah,
or not
and-
hindsight. It's just like you're saying, it's just not natural. Like,
Yeah. And I think it was just poor timing because I think he followed up the next tournament and he shot again like 10 over. Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah, he got a couple sponsors exemptions for the next like few tournaments, like a couple, because he was such a big name that like the Charles Schwab Invitational, I believe, was the week after the PGA Championship, and they just called him up and were like, "Yo, you got to play in our tournament." And he came and shot like he'd just been partying all week and like celebrating, getting like 15th or whatever, and goes to the Charles Schwab, and I think he shot like 78, 80 or something like that. But
That's so funny.
I mean, it's just that's why golf's cool. I love some of those storylines. I'm trying to think what else just to cap off the golf convo. Let's see. Rory McIlroy is back in like, it looks like prime Rory form.
Sure.
It's going to be interesting, the fact that you brought up Scotty. Like, it feels like Scotty's going to rattle off like 2 or 3 wins here in the next coming months. Like, I can just feel it. Like, he's just been hovering at like around like the 10th place, and he's just going to hit a couple of these birdies that he hasn't these last few weeks. And it's going to be him and Rory in all these weeks, because Rory's got 2 wins on the season already, and we're only 8 events in or whatever, and he's only played in 5 of them. So it's going to be fun.
Down the stretch at the Masters will be sweet.
Oh, that'll be so fun. That'll be so fun. My current guy that I'm really rooting for to join that upper echelon, and he's already so close, is Ludwig Oberg. That dude, or Oberg, excuse me. 24 years old.
He's the young cat, right?
Yeah, one year of college experience at Texas Tech, and is like 6'3", and just like the prototype golfer, and just the coolest guy ever. Freaking trilingual dude, grew up in Sweden, like just so cool. Anyway,
Yeah, made in a lab of golfers.
literally made in the lab. But anyway, that's probably enough golf, other than the fact that I am so excited to get on the course. I've been playing. I have a simulator golf league that I played in all winter with Eric Bachmeyer. He was my teammate, and it's fun. Like, you know, it's fun to have something to look forward to in the winter, to just go swing clubs. But man, oh man, the warm weather's got me ready to put my toes in some grass, buddy.
Yeah, you might have to come up here because there's one small town course that is always open before and stays open later than every other course around here.
Do you know what it's called?
Leonard Golf Course.
Oh, never heard of it. Just like a country course?
It's like a 30-minute drive from Fargo, little 9-hole that's actually has some challenging holes, but it's like
fun.
It's like $18 for a round.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
The absolute best.
That's phenomenal. Those are my favorite type of courses now. I don't love courses that are like, you know, maybe not maintained as I would love, but you get some of those country courses, man, where it's $20 a round and $5 for a cart or whatever it is, and you're paying $3 a beer. You can't have a better Saturday than teeing it up at 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever it is with a rack of beers and a Bloody Mary, and just letting her ride on one of those country courses.
Yeah, and it's like some Mon Pa golf course that like they've had the same grounds crew guy that doesn't get paid. Like, he just does it for love of the game for 30 years.
He's a retired Navy veteran.
Yes. Just out there with scissors on the green.
Yeah, just rolling it to perfection. Yes. But, yeah, man, that time of year, I'm also pumped. My buddy My buddy's moving back from Colorado to the cities. He's from here originally. Played ball with Greg Menard, actually, at Lakeville.
Dang.
And his family's got a boat. I haven't even asked him yet, but hopefully we can get out on his boat. I'm gonna just send him this clip. Be like, Ryan, I haven't asked you yet, but this is me asking you. This is me inviting myself onto your boat.
I'm gonna speak ill of you if you don't let me on your boat.
Oh man. Hey, you know what I always thought was interesting? Sorry, we are just rambling now, but Fargo is one of the most arid counties like in the Midwest.
Arid?
Arid. Meaning lack of natural water.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah.
Look at you, Mr. Vocab.
You should I did go to journalism school.
That's true. Yeah.
You
You did just say Buffalo Wild Wings, like was the name of the product. So I do like to check sometimes. We get the highs and the lows from you.
I'm just all over the place, all over the spectrum, man. Literally.
Say that again.
Yeah, definitely on the spectrum. Yeah, it always sucked for me because I came from Eau Claire, French for Clearwater, Wisconsin, which has 3-4 lakes within 10 miles, like large lakes, and everything's on the river. Like everything's on the river.
Yeah.
Like there's 4 rivers.
Is your parents' house on the river or on the lake? Yeah.
Yep, on the river feeding into Lake Altoona.
It's gorgeous.
Yep. Yeah, man, I was so blessed. I grew up on the boat and on the water pretty much all day, every day, all summer. It was fantastic.
Is it still a clear water situation in the river, or is it disgusting like the Red River?
Dude, that river is phenomenal. It's a decently fast flowing one. We have a waterfall up the river from us, probably, I don't know what that is. 5 miles a river, 3 miles a river. And it's pretty fast flowing for the most part. It used to be a lot deeper, but we've had a lot of, oh my God, we could go into the weeds here. I'm nerdy about this stuff now. I love it. So we had a sand situation in our river where our sand was so good in our river, and the soil that encompasses the river and the lake that feeds into this river is so good and so fine that the sand eroded a ton from the banks and filled in a lot of these deep areas of the river over time.
Sure.
And so over time, it's just been getting shallower and shallower and shallower and shallower and shallower. Now they've employed a whole bunch of different dredging, is what they call it, dredging projects to get sand out of our river. But when I was a kid, when I was like a toddler, and even into like elementary school, we were able to ski up and down our river with our ski boat. And my parents were both big competitive skiers growing up. So we grew up like on skis, on wakeboards, on trick skis. And we would go up and down the river when I was a kid. And the amount of sediment and erosion that happened over a decade, we couldn't bring our boat up the river anymore. So we had to sell our ski boat when I was like middle school or high school, and we ended up getting a pontoon. So anyway, the river is shallow, and we've got to go out to the lake to get any more deeper water. But dude, I spent so much dang time in the water as a kid, and that's what, like, going up to Fargo, it was like, I gotta drive an hour to find the nearest lake. Like, yeah, I gotta drive to DL.
Yeah, you guys were so spoiled because, like, when we think about DL, we're like, dude, get me out of Fargo. Fastest trip in the world to get on some water. Like, if that drive was 2 hours, I would do it. I don't care.
Exactly, bro. I was out the backyard. I was driving. We had a ski boat, and then I learned to drive that when I was really young. But I learned to drive. We also had a jet boat for like 2 years when we sold the ski boat to kind of like get a little bit of feel of speed that you could stay shallow with. We had a jet boat, and I learned to drive that, and then I've been driving a pontoon since I was a child. So it's like, where the fuck was I going with this, Zach?
You just spent all your time in the water. You walked out your backyard.
walked out my backyard, and I was sorry, I gotta pick this up. I was like, where was I going with this, dude? I had one too many sips of that whiskey. It was, you walked out of the backyard, and I could just go take off and sit at the sandbar and fuck around with a wiffle ball bat and whatever, and float in the backyard, teach myself how to do backflips underwater and jump off. We had a rope swing in our backyard, man. Like, it was just, I would be in Fargo on the weekends, and like, I didn't have quite like, I didn't have that close enough friend who had a cabin on DL who would invite me like every weekend. I'd get an invite once in a while to certain places, but I never had that one consistent buddy that had a cabin on DL. So I was just always like, oh my God, I got to go to Island Park Pool again. Like,
just to feel water.
Just to get in some water, man.
God, dude, it's like, that's the biggest thing. Like, if money was no option, I would be
no issue. You mean?
Yeah, no issue, no option. Yeah, dude, we're in a communist society. There's no option, and just take what you want.
The CTE is hitting us hard today.
It's
been a long week.
Yes, it has. I think I would live somewhere warm during the winter, but I still think I would spend my summers up in like Lake Country of Wisconsin or Lake Country of Minnesota.
For sure, man.
There's no place I'd rather be in the summer.
The North Woods, baby. There's nothing like the North Woods. Do you have like a place kind of that like in your brain stands out? Like, have you been to like, I don't know, Lutzen, Minnesota? Have you been to Hayward, Wisconsin? Have you been to any of these places that you could see yourself settling in, or you vacate out there or something for a week?
So as much as I don't want to be around people and just want to like go live in a cabin in the woods, I do need like some sort of civilization.
Sure.
And I've really found my dad's in-laws live near Alexandria, Minnesota.
Sure.
And their lake country is cool because it's like beautiful, calm lakes, recreational, just like around DL. But they're all in like pockets of tree lines. So like you just break through the trees and it's lakes.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Cool.
But Alex also has like 25,000 people. It's a big enough city that you can survive.
That's a pretty solid town.
Yeah.
So you're going to move to Alexandria?
I don't know. I need to explore Wisconsin a little more, honestly. I love Wisconsin.
You got to get down. Man. I want to, if I could, I would love to live in Wisconsin. I'm a little afraid with what I'm doing in my like line of business that I need to see. Like right now, I don't need to be in a big city, but like I feel like it's going to be very valuable to me going forward, whether it's with travel or whether it's like I've been talking about like doing something with like having a storefront, for lack of a better term, but like having a studio, you know, things like that. And it's like that would just never survive where I came from. But
I think you could stay small for now, and then if it got to that point, like then you just move to Milwaukee or Chicago, and it's
exactly
like, and you're kind of in the prime area.
That's fair. Have we talked about Madison?
I don't know. I love Madison.
You've been to Madison though?
Went to Madison
with Jack?
Yeah.
With Albrechto. Gotcha.
And then I spent a lot of time in Green Bay and Neenah, Appleton, that area. The Fox River.
Yep. The Fox River Valley. Look at you pulling out the whole, looking at, God, that's impressive, man. You just make me shed a tear.
Dude, I legitimate, like, I'm not going to get political, but like in the last like 5 to 10 years, there's been a kind of this shift away from North Dakota nice. And I know like Wisconsin still has some loony bin people where like it's
for sure.
It's, you know, it's a weird spot in some areas. It's just like any other rural area. Like,
yeah.
When we went to Appleton and I walked into a dive bar called the Wooden Nickel, and the bartender there's no room. It's just the bar and then the grill. He's flipping back and forth. He has his shirt off behind the grill because one of the regulars dared him to do it. And then he sits down. I sit down and he goes, "You ever had Malort?" I'm with Jack.
Oh,
and he's like,
man.
I'm like, "No, I never had it." He's like, "Try this. It's on me." I'm like, all right. I'm like, this is like what people think North Dakota is, and I love it here.
Yeah.
I haven't really picked out where I'd want to live, but I've been to Milwaukee, and I love Milwaukee too.
Milwaukee's great too. It gets a bad rap. It sucks. It's
Downtown
just like
Milwaukee was so sweet.
Dude, it's so fun. And I'm assuming you went to kind of like that Deer District area by the Fiserv Forum.
Yep, we went to a concert there and then just kind of bar hopped. And
super dope.
Again, like it's 2 a.m. and whatever bar closes at 3, whatever it is, it's Wisconsin.
Yeah.
There's no rules.
Yeah.
But this lady starts walking around. She's like, "You want anything?" I'm like, "You're taking orders for what?" And dude, they serve sausages. You could get a brat until 2 a.m.
It's incredible, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It really
There's for as many negatives that come with having the drunkest state in the union, there are just as many positives, unfortunately, and that's what makes us go into this deep this deep place of DUIs and drunkenness and alcoholism and domestic violence. But there's a lot of fun things that come with it too, and the social aspect. I'm a socialite, and like the social aspect I live for. You can go in Eau Claire, and I mean, literally, when I lived there until last year, like my favorite thing to do was just on a Wednesday night go find a random pub that's got half off wings on Wednesdays or whatever it is, sit there, watch a college football game or basketball game or whatever is on TV, and just sit there and meet people and socialize, because there's always people in there. It's always a fun environment, and it's cheap. It's all cheap. That's the difference.
Yeah, dude, I really do
can't do it now.
I like when I notice myself like getting into, you start getting in the weeds, when it starts to happen. Like I just have to surround myself with people.
Yes, dude.
And like I just like if I don't have a way to express myself to other humans, like it just my brain starts eating itself.
I can't do it.
Like if I had a crew every day, like if they want every day, hey, 5:30 we meet for beers, I would do that every day.
100%, dude. Like it's almost like a little private club or something.
Exactly.
I don't know. That sounds great. We should just do that. We should just start that.
Yeah.
Dude, let's just start a I know you know a little bit about Bobby Burger and Bob Does Sports, but were you ever familiar with their happy hours that he did during COVID?
Yeah, dude, that's how they found Fat Perez.
Yeah, I figured you knew that.
Yeah. It's a
Something
great
like
idea.
that. We should do that. Let's start a happy hour what if we did it every Thursday before we recorded this pod?
Yeah.
That'd be incredible. And then we get on here a little tuned up.
Dude, I think
Leave a like and a comment if you would want to join us for happy hour every Thursday at 5:30.
Dude, not to get sappy and like too deep, but I know for a fact that like a lot of the boys that are done now like miss that stuff. Of just
Absolutely.
I miss it, of talking to everybody.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Dude, I lived for that. Like, first off, I absolutely see, I don't know where you stand on this, but like I'm a guy that like, even though I think I started one game in my career on defense. Like I always absolutely loved football. It didn't matter how much I started or like whatever. Like there were some shitty days of practice and I overall disliked practice, but like 2 days a week, I enjoyed practice and I love like watching film and like doing things like that. But the best part about it, man, and what I miss the most is just before meetings, before practice, in the training room, in the cold tub, in the hot tub, in the dining center, in class. Like, I mean,
We're just around
you
each other
name it.
constantly.
Dude, it was 24/7. And it's like, and Lexi asked me too, she's like, well, you're not like close with him. Like because I would be like, oh my God, I literally said this to her one time. I'm like, oh my God, I miss him, She's like, what do you mean? You were like, you never like say anything about him. You never hang out with him. You never talked about him, whatever. And I'm like, Well, maybe that's your perspective on it, but like I spent 6 hours a day with this dude for 4 years. Like,
I think that's it
Isn't
is
that
like
wild?
a real fundamental difference in like how like male and female companionship.
for
that, like,
sure. And she
they-
said that she followed it up with that comment too.
They have to stay in touch. Like I'm speaking pejoratively about women. Like they're always texting like, "Hey, checking in, how you doing?"
Yeah.
I could not talk to Nash for a year, and if I saw him, it just picks right back up where it was.
Bro, I mean, that's the beauty of being a male.
Yeah.
You know? It really is. I'm like, that's the same way, dude. I haven't seen half of these guys in legitimately what's 2019 from now 6 years. Like
Yeah.
I haven't seen these guys in 6 years, but I swipe up on their stories.
Mm-hmm.
I send them a happy birthday text, whatever. And if we sat down at a bar right now, there would be legitimately zero like loss of connection, you know?
Yeah, it probably would cure this like male loneliness epidemic that people talk about if we just put it to the side and like called our buddies every week, but we just don't do it.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should more.
Call
I'm
the
gonna start
homies,
calling
man.
you. Call the homies. Speaking of which,
Oh boy.
fuck, dude, my phone is recording this.
See,
How do I do it?
I'm gonna have to talk to you after of this ecosystem between Mac, Rodecaster, and my phone. Because everything works on the Rodecaster, but it doesn't output to my headphones. So I could call somebody, I can't hear it.
Oh,
Is
see,
my only
I know.
problem.
Yeah, I have that exact same problem right now.
Yeah.
But there is a solution. It just requires more purchases, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We need to get that for the unexpected
I
caller
wonder
segment.
what if I got a high-powered enough computer. Could I FaceTime somebody and screen share it?
I don't know. It's worth a shot.
Let's see if it works. This is one of the biggest fans of the show, Colin Burseth.
I thought you were going to say
He
Colin Connor.
No, not quite.
Your boy.
This is going to be absolutely hilarious and electric if he answers.
Oh, Colin's a big fan on IG. Very
Yeah,
interactive.
man. Yeah, man.
By the way, we didn't talk about biggest losers of free agency, but I did just have the notification remind me of Daniil Hunter getting 1 year 35.6 from the Texans. The Texans are the losers of free agency.
You're kidding me.
No, 1 for 36.
That doesn't make any sense.
And they traded away Laramie Tunsil after CJ Stroud died last year.
What?
Yeah.
Why are they doing all that?
I don't know.
That's actually boggling to me because I had a lot of respect for that staff and that administration.
Daniil Hunter for 35 and a half is crazy.
Although, I mean, what did he sign? What did he get last year? Didn't he have a big year?
I don't think it warranted that. And he's the second
Let's
highest
see.
paid defensive end behind
I mean, yeah,
Myles Garrett.
that's crazy. That's crazy. So
He's making more money than
Zach,
Max
this is
Crosby.
making me think that like he told them, okay, let's first off, let's check out his. All right, dude, he still had fucking 12 sacks.
That's not 36 money.
No, but here's my thought. Though. This is probably his last year, or like one of his last years. It's not 36 money though. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah,
I
I still
could
can't
have
get over that
settled with
number.
26 maybe.
Even that, it's like, dude,
That's still a lot.
for 12.
That's so interesting. 12 sacks.
Okay,
I don't know. I mean-
I think Khalil Mack is a couple years older, but 2 years ago he had 16, and I think
Right.
we are paying him
What
close
is
to
the
20.
What does the Texans cap space look like right now?
It can't be wonderful.
No, it can't be. Unless it's wonderful and that was like, hey, we got money to spend. We have young talent at the DN position and we need Daniil to be here for another 10 sacks And to get Will Anderson, another 10.
Sure, but here's my thing. Do you think there were other higher bidders that are close to that 36 number for Danielle Hunter? I doubt it.
No.
Very good football player.
There might be a half dozen.
What is Danielle Hunter's best season? I'm not pocket watching because I'm happy for the guy. That
you talking about money?
Yeah, like
dude. This might be his most lucrative season for sure. It has the potential to be.
His best season was 2 years ago with 16.5, which that's a gaudy number, and he had 2 seasons of 14.5. But he's never been the guy to go like close to 20.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Listen to this. Danielle Hunter is the highest paid on the team. Guaranteed $12 million.
This year?
This new one.
It's only 12 guaranteed.
Guaranteed 12. Yep. So there must be.
It's a $12.5 million raise. I'll read the tweet from Tom Pelissero.
Oh, this is 2014. Hold on.
The Texans and Danielle Hunter have agreed to a 1-year, $35.6 million contract extension that makes him the NFL's second highest paid defensive end. Hunter will make $32 million this season, a $12.5 million raise, and $55.1 million over the next 2 seasons. That's insane.
Yeah, I'm looking at right now, dead money and cap savings. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
So they extended him and then broke it up over the 2 years that he had left.
This is wild, dude. I'm looking at the Texans cap space. There's like a website dedicated to this. Wow. Shout out to overthecap.com.
That's a good website.
Dude, I've never looked at this before. This is pretty incredible. I'm going down line by line. Great signing for the Texans, by the way. Derek Stingley.
Yeah. He's a dog.
Oh, my God. See, they should have paid him $36 million a year. Okay, maybe not that much, but okay. Danielle Hunter, man, wow, those numbers are gaudy. Holy Christ!
Yeah.
Whew. What is it? He was drafted in 2015.
So he's 2 years younger than Khalil Mack.
So what does that make him? 31.
Yeah,
something like that.
Khalil Mack is 34. So yeah, depending
something
on
like that. Okay.
So
that's not as old as I thought he was, Zach.
Khalil Mack's getting paid 18 this year, though.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Did Danielle get hurt at all last year? That's another question.
I don't know. I can see. But
I'm searching. This is live production, folks. If anyone's listening to this, like, really appreciate you, and you must be a real ball knower, like,
yeah,
because we are just bullshitting.
Khalil Mack or Danielle Hunter must have had like Paul Wall in a basement with a gun to his head, and they're like, "If you don't pay me $36 million, he's gone." Because there's just simply no explanation.
Paul Wall in a basement.
He played in all 17 games last year.
Wow.
So career
H-Town. Shout out Kirko Bangs.
Khalil Mack, I keep going back and forth. Danielle Hunter has 136 career games and 99.5 career sacks, which is it's a good tidbit.
That's a good number, Zach. I'm seriously not saying it's worth $36 million. That's at the end of the day. But there's like it feels like, here's my thought. The Houston Texans staff, I've had a lot of respect for in the last few years. And so maybe this situation has to be like an outlier for some other reason that maybe we're not seeing. Maybe they're saving something on like some dead cap space or something. I have no clue. Or they just really they really see the value in having him with the young guys. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's $36 million.
Yeah, I get all those things. I just don't know if he would have fetched that on the free market is my only thing.
You're 100% right. He probably would have got, he could have got 30, 25 somewhere else. I think he could have.
I don't know, man.
12 sacks as a 10-year vet, that's still a lot of, you're still going to make a lot of fucking cash, dude.
That's true. I just don't think of him as like in that upper echelon of DNs, and maybe that's.
Do you not? I think he is, but I think he's towards tier 2 now.
Yeah.
But I still think he's up there. I don't know. Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean,
Hunter.
say first tier is 10 guys. Is he in that list? The top 10 guys?
Is Daniil Hunter in the top 10? Are we saying like edge rusher or just like Dean? Okay. Top 10 edge rusher.
Myles Garrett.
I think he's right there. I think he's right at that high single digits number.
I put Kyle Van Noy above him. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, we might have to cut this pod segment here.
So let's do it. Actually, let's flesh this out.
Let's do it. Let's live produce here. So, like you said, Myles Garrett,
TJ.
Let's
Watt.
go back and forth. Yeah, back and forth. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. Hold on. Wow, I got to think here for a second. This is thrusting me into the spotlight. Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and forth.
Max Crosby.
Nick Bosa.
Yes. If he doesn't get hurt all the time, I might put Rashawn in that conversation.
He's not there for me. I'm as a Packer fan,
is, though.
For sure. Yep. So that's what, 5 or 6?
Is
that 5 or 6?
6.
See, now it's like you could say Daniil Hunter for me, and I would not.
Sure.
I would not be mad at that at all. That's what, number 6 or 7. Khalil's right there too. Khalil's in that exact same.
I think Daniil's a better player than Khalil
right now. Yeah, and then so what about Hassan Reddick? No, he didn't have. Did he have a good year last year? I know he obviously played for the. Wait, did he play for the? No, he played for the Jets last year. Holy shit, dude!
He had that weird sit out. He was in Japan.
Yeah, he sat out for 5 weeks. Oh, Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson is up there.
Oh my God, we're getting the FaceTime call.
Let's go.
So it's not allowing me to screen share, so I'm gonna have to go like this. This is gonna be so janky. What are you doing right now, bro?
I'm working.
You're working.
Pressure washer, yeah, I'm testing it out.
Am I really interrupting your work?
Not really. Why, what's going on? What's up, Zach?
This is Zach. You haven't
What's
met
up?
formally. He said, "What's up?" Can you hear him a little bit, Zach?
Yeah.
Sorry, Colin. We won't keep you for more than 60 seconds. We just.
Me as long as you want, dude. I'm fucking intrigued with what's going on here.
Well, we just know you're one of our most loyal followers. You're also just an incredibly interesting guy. Wanted to give you a call here, and I literally just said to Zach, I want to see what he's doing, and this is perfect. I mean, this is literally perfect. What are you doing? A little landscaping there?
Yeah, I'm literally doing something kind of just out of pocket right now. I literally just picked this guy up, and I'm washing some rocks right now. Check it out.
Washing rocks.
You wouldn't believe how much mold and mildew has accumulated on these rocks over the years. But they're cleaning up nice.
So, what did you go just rent a power washer, and are you doing a job, or are you just helping someone out, or what?
So I actually drove to Berlin, Wisconsin today. If you
Okay.
know where that is.
Yep.
Outside of Oshkosh.
That's a long ways.
I bought this pressure washer, and that's going to be my hustle this year or this summer. I kind of decided. I figure it was a low kind of pickup cost,
Yeah, for sure.
I paid $500 for the washer, and I don't think I need a ton of shit to kind of have it rolling. And
What do you got? You got a Facebook Marketplace ad out there?
Not quite yet, but that would be a good one.
Yep.
I ordered some like signs to kind of put up on yard corners and whatnot. I figure I can door knock my way to just about any job I want. Dude, half the houses you drive by need something.
Exactly. Whether it's
the deck in the back, whether it's the rocks out front, everyone needs a little bit of a wash.
That's phenomenal, dude.
That was kind of my thought on
Are you gonna do time lapses again of your work?
I don't see why I wouldn't,
Because people love the pressure washing shit.
Before and then the after product, you know me, I like to create some content. So who knows? Maybe I come up to the door and I advertise a gigolo service.
Jesus. Dude, I think you should.
It's pretty open-ended,
I think there's a lot of different ways you could take this, man. I love it. I
you guys
really
are really cooking up right now. What's going on right now?
So you are live on the pod, man. So
This is my first podcast experience here, bro. I'm kind of nervous.
Well, you're doing great, man. You're doing phenomenal. I've got all my.
We can cut it up, so yeah, no biggie on that. Does Zach have any questions for me?
Yeah, Zach, do you have any questions?
Dude, I'm enthralled with the entrepreneurial spirit.
He said he's enthralled with the entrepreneurial spirit, and he's glad to meet you.
That's a word I did not expect to hear. Can you give me a definition on that, please?
Intrigued and impressed.
Excited?
He says intrigued and really impressed.
Okay, that's a good.
We're talking about low startup
didn't
costs.
feel like I would hear that word today, but yeah.
He said,
I would say I'm pretty enthralled too about the opportunity to do this.
good for you, man. Good for you. I love it. I think you should. There's a lot of. I follow a lot of those like lawn mowing and excavation and landscaping accounts on TikTok. I think you would kill it.
I think so too. I feel like like you said, the door's pretty open ended for what I could get into with this. And as far as startup costs, I couldn't think of a better way or a cheaper way to get in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there he is, man. Colin Burseth. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. Great appearance. We'll have to.
What if I wanted like a fake? What if I wanted like a fake name or a character, dude? Like, come on, now they know who I am.
Well, we're not live streaming, so I can cut it out.
Chaz from Chippewa Falls or something.
Chaz from Chippewa Falls. That might.
Oh, that could be the new ad right there. Who knows?
Wow, man. Chaz from Chippewa Falls. There you have it, folks. This was a great first segment of Random Caller. Colin, thanks for joining. I'm glad you picked up the phone, and good luck with your power washing session. And make sure to follow Colin on socials, everyone.
I appreciate that, boys. Give me a call anytime. I'm a happy reappearance on the pod. So just hit my line. I'll be back.
Thanks, Blimp Checks. All right. Have a good one, buddy.
Oh, he's the man.
Dude, he's a goon.
He spent the whole time just mogging everybody. Just
he knew exactly what the fuck he was doing, too. Oh wow. He's that's a perfect first Random Caller segment. He comments on everything. He's a goon. He's a fun character.
Might be a great third chair for this podcast.
Oh, don't tell him that, because you will show up with some fiery takes and input into this podcast. So he might. I don't know if I'm ready to bring Colin on as like a full-time co-host here, but he might be a recurring guest for sure.
Yeah.
What else, Zach? Anything else we want to talk about here? I got to get going here pretty soon, but I feel like we've just had a pretty natural convo today.
I wanted to bring up, because this came up naturally, and I talked to my father about it. I don't think Charlie Ward gets enough respect in the greatest athletes of all time conversation.
Charlie Ward, why? Wait, Charlie Ward? No,
I'm gonna let you figure it out.
Charlie Ward.
All right.
No, don't.
Time's up.
No, don't. Charlie Ward. Why am I not? I just keep thinking about Charlie Batch.
That's Chaz Batch. Show some respect. Can I tell you?
No. Yes. All right. Tell me.
Charlie Ward won a Heisman at Florida State playing quarterback, and then played 10 years in the NBA with the Knicks and Rockets and other random teams. But, like, just said, nah, I'm good on football. I'm going to go hoop.
What?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
You won a Heisman?
Yes.
No.
One of the greatest athletes of all time, and nobody talks about him.
How have I never heard of
That's what I'm saying, dude. Everybody knows Dion.
Oh, I know
Everybody.
Charlie Ward.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I only know about him from football.
Yeah, I know. And he played 10 years in the NBA and, like, wasn't a
Holy
scrub.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
He won a Heisman. You're lying.
I swear to God.
I'm looking it up. How does it feel to be a liar?
I mean, I've been doing it all my life. So.
Wow, you're a truther, man. Charlie Ward, 1993 Heisman.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Handsome guy, too.
One of the greatest lives of all time.
That had to have been a cool athlete life, huh?
Also, quarterback and punter at Florida State.
Bro, that's incredible. And
I know.
obviously, I'm assuming he had a great career playing basketball at Florida State, too? Or did he only play for a couple of years? Or
Let me see.
Zach, this would be a great documentary film for us to make.
I know, dude. He needs more respect.
Charlie Ward, this would be a 30 for 30, man. There's no 30 for 30 on this guy?
Maybe. Ward still holds FSU basketball records for career steals and steals in one game. Ranks 6th all time in assists.
Wow.
What a dog.
Look at this. You can't even make this up, Zach. ESPN released a 60-minute special, The Legend of Charlie Ward.
I'm watching.
On 131:23.
Wow. I need to watch it.
We got to watch that. All right, chat. This is the other thing. I'm going to start calling anyone who watches this chat.
Chad, is this real?
Chat, is this real? The Legend of Charlie Ward. Everyone watch this with me and Zach and let us know what you think in the comments, or let us know if you knew who Charlie Ward was. See, I've seen this guy in a Florida State football uniform a bunch. I have never seen him in a New York Knicks uniform ever.
No.
Interesting.
First round draft pick in the NBA, and I think like career average 5 points a game, but still. Must have been a defensive guy. So
When you go ahead.
the year he won the Heisman, went 264 of 380, which is a 69.5% completion percentage.
It's not a ton of throws.
No, 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 4 picks.
That's efficient.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
A 157.8 QB rating.
What's his rushing stats? Does it say?
65 attempts for 339 and 4 TDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Add another little smooth 4 TDs on there.
His freshman year, he was the punter for the team.
Wow, I need to watch this 30 for 30.
11 games at punt. So
tonight.
if you look at his stats on sportsreference.com, it's broken into passing, rushing and receiving, and punting and kicking. And his freshman year, he's just the punter. He's not even listed as a quarterback.
That's incredible.
He 35 punts and 1,300 yards, averaged 37 yards a punt.
That's not a great number, but it's still a Division I punter number.
That might have been good for punters back then.
Back then. Wow, man. I wonder if their punter got hurt or if they expected him to be a player or what happened.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, if he just like
Interesting.
walked on as the punter and then became a
That'd
Heisman
be
winner.
incredible. Wow. Wow, interesting, man. Charlie Ward.
Injury to the starting punter. Yeah.
Sure shit.
I need to watch that deal because I need to know.
Dude, yeah,
he doesn't
it's
get
on
enough love.
I just typed in Charlie Ward documentary, and there's a 60-minute special on ESPN.com.
I'm watching that.
Check it out.
Last 2 points, and one of them kind of ties into that quickly. But like, I was an actual like ESPN sports nerd when I was a kid. Like sports reporters, E60, 30 for 30.
Oh,
it was the greatest content anybody was producing about sports. Around the Horn is canceled now. PTI, I think, is still going, or did they cancel that too?
It is no, they didn't cancel. I believe they just retired the show, kind of.
Pardon the interruption.
Yeah, I believe
Sad.
that's with Wilbon, right?
Yep. Tony Kornheiser and Wilbon.
Shout out. It's Mike Wilbon, right?
Mike Wilbon. Yep.
Shout out Mike Wilbon for PTI and numerous other things. Shout out my professor and my what do you call it? The person who oversees your academics. My advisor. My advisor and my professor, J.A. Adonde, for
really?
Yeah, dude.
That's cool.
I had him for multiple classes. And he had some of the coolest stories I've ever heard. It was going to class, man, was a treat.
I believe it.
It was literally going to class every day was a treat. And shout out to Greenberg. Mike Greenberg. All three Northwestern University School of Journalism master's degree recipients.
Who has bigger
humble
Big
brag.
J Journo dorky
Energy?
pretentious nerds? Northwestern or Syracuse?
Northwestern.
Because you guys have Ravel.
Northwestern, for sure.
Yeah.
Dan Rappaport.
Yeah. I think Syracuse had the older echelon of like the old
For
sports
sure.
guys.
Yep. And those guys were like more like, those were like gritty, like real,
They ran
like,
the beat for 30 years.
Yes, exactly. Like they went at it hard on the ground level of journalism, where now it's like this modern pretentious media energy. Like it just radiates from Northwestern.
And I don't know why it's still that way, because there are 25-year-olds that are graduating with masters that could have bigger social media followings than anybody at ESPN.
For sure.
It's just
absolutely.
there's never been more access to it. Last point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unless you had something to add.
Nope, I didn't. Nothing valuable.
The single most annoying discussion when it comes to sports nowadays, I think, is the MVP discussion.
Just in any sport.
I don't care if Lamar or Josh Allen was better. It's all just personal preference, or because the MVP conversation is so diluted of what the award is anyway. So when you have these idiots on Twitter and like, who's up for it now in the NBA? Like Shea and Jokic.
Shea and Jokic and who else this year? That might be it
Jason
for now.
Tatum,
I don't know.
maybe?
Yeah,
Whoever.
I don't pay attention enough.
But like you see whatever Stephen A. Smith is on in the morning, and they're just the bottom
First
Chiron just reads like who's the MVP this year. I don't. It's so there's no real answer, and not only that, nobody has an interesting opinion about it. It's all discussed so heavily that if you look at me and say something about somebody being the MVP, I'm leaving the conversation.
I don't want to hear anything either.
Yeah.
I'm so like the amount of people this year that I heard have the opposite sides of the Josh Allen and Lamar conversation. I'm like, I just have heard this on repeat.
Right.
These two different opinions on repeat for the last 8 weeks.
And not
I
only
do
that,
not care.
It goes back to like what I'm starting to get more annoyed by as I get older in like the LeBron and MJ conversation is like you're just making it impossible to enjoy both of them.
Right.
Like Lamar is incredible to watch. He's must-see TV, but so is Josh Allen. So when you dumbasses are like, well, Josh is carried by his team, or Lamar is a running back, and it's like, dude, why? Maybe it's just like, because I used to engage in it of like,
Right.
you know, but now I'm just like, dude, these guys are awesome, and they don't come around very often.
No, why can't we just enjoy it and
I still
take
hate
it for what
Patrick
it's
Mahomes,
worth?
though,
Yeah, that's fair.
and he
What did
deserves
you
no
say?
happiness.
A mile of shit and then Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
is what you said in that first segment we did.
Yeah, and like, I started to like buy into it with Jalen Hurts, and it's like he's carried. I'm like, I had to step back. I'm like, dude, he just won the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he outplayed Mahomes in both of the Super Bowl he's played in.
He did, didn't he? Well, did he outplay him in that first one?
He was balling in the first one. He just had that fumble that cost him.
I can't remember. That's right.
And then he threw the ball
I'm
40 yards on the Hail Mary.
I'm with you. It's just, I mean, just like everything nowadays in sports media, it's just engagement farming, man.
Yeah.
It's literally just trying to create contention and conflict to get people talking.
Does that bum you out like it bums me out? Where like you see it's so obvious.
Dude,
that,
it's so obvious.
Like Bleacher Report is like just wholly overpay in the replies, and it's like, can you cover sports, please?
Can you just tell us what's going on,
right?
Without this extra shit,
right?
Or whatever you're doing.
But like you said, it's all about
it's so obvious, dude, and like the capitalization of trends and just like. I get it. Being in the business, like I get it. I understand where these people are coming from and how these brands have to keep prominence, but it's just it sucks.
I think one of the worst things we ever did as a society was being able to profit off of just engagement and views. There's no quality. That's like when you see people like talk about like the Paul brothers or whatever, and they're probably a bad example because they are genuinely good at marketing and building brands. But like whatever ex TikToker that has 1 million+ followers, and you're like, yeah, great. They like watch them make a cucumber salad, and 400 million people liked it. Like, is this quality to you people, or is this just brain slop? And then you attribute some level of like worthiness
value.
That like, dude, it's
brutal.
And a lot of that now is like, you see it with basically anybody who gets hired by. There's a lot of people doing high quality work, but a lot of times the high quality work in journalism doesn't get the reception that like clickbait
Absolutely.
shit does.
Dude, I'm going through it right now with what I'm doing with Smiley and stuff. I'm seeing people on like golf TikTok and golf Instagram and all this other stuff, just doing the exact same thing you're talking about, doing the dual screens to try to get people's attention span in 2 different places at once, and
and
doing
like,
all this other stuff. And
if you got
terrible.
Smiley on there and he's like, fuck Rory McIlroy, he sucks at golf, it would be your highest viewed clip. Or if he's like, the Rizzler was at Augusta National, it's like, why should I have to resort to making mindless slop when I can make high quality stuff? When it's just like, what I actually do is quality gets 10,000 views, and if he's talking about Baby Gronk, it gets 50 million.
It doesn't make any sense, dude. We had Russell Henley on yesterday, who won the Arnold Palmer Invitational, one of the most coveted PGA Tour events outside of majors.
The 5th major, they say.
Pretty much, or close to. Actually, they call the Players the 5th major, but Arnold Palmer one is. I mean, it's close, and he won that. And we had him on yesterday, and we made some just banger clips about like stories with him and Scotty Scheffler and him and some other things, like what it took for him to win. And we post these socials, dude, and they do literally 1/10 of the engagement that we get if we do something with the trending topic. It's unbelievable. I'm like, how does this even?
It sucks. I think, and it's different because like you and I can do what we're doing, and it either finds a community that supports it or it doesn't. And
right.
You're working for Smiley as he's your client, so it's different. But so that timetable to just do organic things is there. But I think even like in music, I think it always kind of comes out on the back end that if you stick to authenticity, that lasts longer and it finds the right people.
Exactly.
But, dude, it's so hard in the meantime when like you're getting 500 views on a clip that if he would like any of the stuff that we just talked about, if Smiley was like, I got wasted with Jordan Spieth. Like
exactly.
It would have done 100 times that.
Right. People just love the contentious things. They love the climactic shit. They don't, no one takes any time to listen to a good story anymore, unfortunately.
Just as an A/B test, I'm going to take this clip and put fucking Subway Surfers underneath it and see how many views it gets. Yes. And then like videos of like
paint
crushing things.
Yeah, or like cutting drywall or vacuuming carpet.
Yeah, it's like
power washing rocks.
Yeah, dude. We have our guy.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
we might just. That's what we should do. Let's just have Colin sponsor the pod.
Yes, that's our clip filler for the brain rot.
People are like, "What in the fuck?"
And truthfully, like this isn't a point of contention from like a jealousy standpoint. I do want to express myself creatively more, but I get so tied up in like, do I go for views or something that I'm actually interested in talking about?
100%.
And I don't know what content to produce. And then when you don't know what content to produce, you don't produce anything. And that's where I've been.
Yep. You know what's funny is I've found you have to do both, unfortunately, in order to be successful in it. Because, I mean, for Smiley, like, for example, what we just talked about, like, we've had the biggest guests you could ever have in golf, minus Tiger Woods, onto his podcast. Yep. And, you know, we do great views. We get great engagement. But in terms of, like, overall, like, social virality, like, we do our best when it's, like, dumb ass stuff that takes me zero time and, like, just reposting, like, contentious topics and doing whatever. And so it's like now we found that for every 2 pieces of good topical narrative content, we have to have one shit post.
Yeah,
like,
and
it just sucks.
You and I even talked to like a fairly successful local media company that this isn't a bad thing. They've just figured it out. Of like they don't even give a shit about how many people watch the podcast because the clips do so well.
Exactly. They sell their socials. They don't sell their podcast.
Which
that's the new wave of everything.
It's crazy.
It's wild. It's wild.
Last note. I'm going to drag you hell or high water to the Sturgill Simpson concert with me.
And when is that again?
First week of May.
First week of May in Minneapolis, St. Paul? I'll go. Absolutely.
The Armory.
I appreciate great music, and I know he makes great music because I've listened to him only with Jack Albrecht. Yeah. But I have listened to him. So
yeah, and then I'm going to sleep at your house and go to work the next day.
Perfect, man. We've got plenty of room. I've got a king size bed for you in our guest room. Yep.
Spoiled.
We've got an extra basement with plenty of room that I'm currently sitting in.
Can we smoke marijuana before?
Absolutely. If we can definitely do that, as long as you don't do it around my dog, because she tends to get a little contact high and has been tweaking out recently. So
poor thing.
Poor Augie. Hi, Augie. Hi, honey. Come here, Augie. Come here.
Augie was cool with me when I stopped by right away.
Yeah, I was really... And then she started to get
when
nervous.
I was leaving, she's like looking at me side and like backing away. I'm like, dude, you just said hi to me. Augie. Should we get both? Lenny. Yep. Come here, Lenny. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Oh, that's a big dog on my lap. Come. Oh, we got Frank too. Oh.
I had to do an RDL to get her up here. Oh. She's kind of chunky.
Say hi, Lenny. Say hi. Say hi to Augie.
I didn't. If you said anything, I didn't hear you.
That's okay. I just told Lenny to say hi to Augie.
Augie, look.
It's Lenny.
Augie, look.
Say hi.
Look at how shiny your coat looks. Wow.
She looks great. Let's get Frank up.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You got two big boys or girls.
2 big boys.
Holy shit, dude! He looks like a sausage.
Hey, he's the best, dude. Look at it.
He literally looks like a Polish kielbasa.
I know, dude. Isn't he handsome?
He is handsome. Both your dogs are very handsome.
This is whose likeness is on the Big Deck barbecue bottles.
You're kidding me, dude.
Yeah, that's the guy right there.
I had no idea.
That's his likeness.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had sorry, let me rephrase
what a
what I was
snuggler Augie just cuddling up.
Dude, she's like asleep already.
Wow.
She's like damn near asleep. She is very territorial when it comes to other dogs.
Okay.
She was a rescue, and she and just had some interesting experiences, I think, maybe in the kennel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But her previous owner died, from what I heard. So
Very
she
sad.
loved. I think it was an old couple that had her, and like one of the wives or husband died, and the other one didn't want to take care of her, sort of thing, or was too old or something, and then gave her up to the shelter. We got her, but anyway, so she does not love other dogs yet, unless we like slowly introduce her to them.
Sure.
And then she is so violent towards anything on 2 wheels.
Really?
2 wheels only.
Bicycles. Not
Bicycles. Guy on a scooter the other day. couple rollerbladers going by. Now I know that's not 2 wheels, but like something that's not a car essentially is
Sure.
what I'm saying. She gets fired up, and the hair on her spine stands straight up, and she gets like mad, like wants to run after him. So we got to work on that, but we're working on it.
She's a sweetheart. That's all that matters.
She is a sweetheart. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into this friendly conversation episode
This is a
3.
mishmash.
It was, but I think it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, for where we're at right now, I mean, this is fun. So
We're
building our base.
Yeah, I don't expect anybody to listen to it. So if they listen to this, then I think they'll listen to anything.
If they listen to this, listen. If you're listening to this at this point in the conversation, an hour 40 in, we've got a lot of good things coming. There'll be some big guests on here. We've both got some connections. It's going to be fun. We're going to keep growing this thing. Thanks for tuning in. It's a blast. Augie Pepper says goodbye, and Zach's 2 dogs are gone. So
Yes.
oh, one of them's still there actually. But everyone, check out Big Deck Barbecue. Is it Big Deck BBQ?
BigDeckBBQ.com. Yep.
BigDeckBBQ.com. Buy a hat. Buy some sauce. Zach's been working really hard lately as the summer barbecue season
I'm gonna
is
sell
coming
this
upon us.
motherfucker. I'm tired of this
We got-
company.
You're gonna sell the company? I thought
Tired
you were
of
gonna.
it.
Well, fucking come on. Let's we need to do this at the front end of the pod.
I know.
Is what we need to do.
We're gonna
Jesus
plug
Christ.
all of our shit after an hour
the
and a half
end?
of incoherent rambling.
Jesus Christ. This part of the conversation is gonna have 3 views. And 2 of them are gonna be us.
Correct.
Buy a hat, buy some sauce, dill pickle mustard, Dakota mustard. Those are my 2 favorites. Also, your hot sauce, that one hot sauce skinny bottle, I put on everything.
Yeah.
Jalapeno, or
Garlic
habanero,
jalapeno.
something.
Yeah.
Garlic habanero. Yep.
Shout
Garlic
out to
jalapeno.
Guy. He got a couple gift boxes. The man.
Shout out to Guy Brown. He might be one of the 3 views that are still watching.
If he's still watching, comment "I'm still watching" on our first clip.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Zach?
Plug your Muse stuff. Send the people.
Yeah. Muse Media Collective. I mean, we're in an interesting spot with the business right now. I've got a couple really fun clients that I'm working with in the golf space, as a lot of you do know who are listening to this, but I'm just going to keep trying to expand this thing. Zach's helping me out. We got more projects coming. I want to just keep growing this thing into something that, I can enjoy on a day in, day out basis and not just do it for money. I want open a little studio, do a little, do more things that I enjoy instead of just what other people need me to do. And Zach here is going to be a big part of that. So, Muse Media Collective to the moon, Big Deck Barbecue to the moon, Role Player Pod episode 3 to the moon. See ya.